Hello everybody, and in today's video I want to be discussing some of the perks in Dead by Daylight that I aren't really that I'm not really that fond of. And that being hex perks. Now I'm sure you've used hex perks before, especially if you play killer, such as Hex Ruin. This is the hex perk I see the most used. But I want to start off by saying I don't hate them. But there's some like aspects to the hex perks that just are so frustrating, and I want to complain about them for a couple seconds and then give you my reasons on how to fix them. Let's take Hex Rune for example. If you just bring this into a trial by itself, survivors can, yeah, they can find it. It might be pretty easy for them to find it, in fact, if they have certain perks, which isn't a problem. But if this is cleansed, it's gone for the whole match. You can never use it ever again. And that's where I want to make my first point is you just can't place your hex at all. They just spawn into the trial naturally, and you cannot choose where they're placed. So you must play a killer like Singularity or the Trapper to make sure your totem doesn't go out. Because if you play a killer like, let's say, Huntress, you're gonna have to keep going back to your totem over and over again to keep it from being extinguished by the survivors. This and these hex perks just add so much more to the trial other than just checking gens in general. Um Another thing I want to point out is because they spawn randomly in the trial, they can just spawn right in front of the survivors as the trial starts, which is incredibly frustrating, especially when as you can see here I use Ruin or Devour Hope. These are some of my favorite perks in the entire game, but because they can just spawn in front of survivors, it makes it really frustrating when instantly your Devour Hope or your Hex Ruin is gone, or your Blood Favor is gone. I don't have it here, but yeah, Blood Favor. And that's the big problem with Hex perks in general. Now, most of the Hex perks, like the perk in general, like Devour Hope is a really good perk. Hex Ruin is a really good perk. This is a pretty decent perk. But these all rely on so much RNG aspects. So, a way we could improve the hex perks, I doubt anyone's gonna watch this video and like tell the behavior of this, but a way we could fix them and remove a little bit of the RNG is have at the start of the trial like a certain radius around the survivors in general where the hex perk just can't spawn. And also some distinction between the perks in general, because if you're running, let's say, Hex, Ruin, and Devour Hope, you'll never know which one is which, especially if you're running more than one or two. Because if you're running, let's say, No One Escapes Death, as soon as that gets added in, then it's going to be really difficult for you to keep up with which one is which. Well, I wouldn't say Noed because text filled on this one's a better example. Because all of these are going to spawn in at the start, and it's instantly going to add three things for you to worry about, not counting the generators, because the generators are a separate thing entirely. But these are just adding to the things you have to worry about as a killer, especially if you want to keep these perks throughout the game. This being one of my favorite perks. But yeah, so adding some distinction between the hex perks will allow you to be like, okay, so if this is my most important perk in my current loadout, I want to protect this perk. So I need to know where this is, but I can't know where that is because there's no distinction. So adding like, I don't know, a different model for Hex, Ruin, or Devour Hope to like just distinguish these, or like a little icon above them to tell how which perk is which. I get that having different models would also tell the survivors which one was most important to get rid of, but it will also add like a little bit more depth to these perks other than just walk up to totem that is glowing red and hold mouse 1 on it to get rid of it. But yeah, that was just my complaints on hex perks. I know this is an abnormally short video, and I promise a new video is gonna come out that's longer. But yeah, honestly, this was very easy to make, and I honestly just want to get a video out for you guys. But thank you so much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day or night.